Okay, so now what's the next step in this journey?
Well, the next step, me and Andrew, and I take a lot of flack for this. I take a lot of flack for this, and I always talk about it because I want people to understand exactly the industry that I got myself into. I ran a streaming company. So I'm an atheist at the time. I'm in my mid-20s, 24 years old. I come from the streets. There was this service that existed when you were younger, and you probably remember it, and all of the people probably older than me remember it, where it was these hotlines you used to call and flirt with beautiful women. So that had all died by then and evolved into streaming online on the internet. So I ran a completely legal tax payable company, and this gets me in some trouble nowadays, where I had these people, these women, streaming themselves on the internet for the same type of guy who would call the phone sex hotline, usually just lonely dudes looking to talk to some chick. And that has made the newspapers last week. It made the newspapers last week, and I'll tell you why. Because when digging through all of my past, now they've come up with this thing. They said Tristan Tate, over the course of 5 years, got paid $2.6 million in money from streaming companies running these streaming webcam models. Now, I did that before I was a religious man. It's not a business I promote. I certainly tell young men to stay away from adult content today. That made me some money back then. However, a very important distinction I'd like to make is how many girls who ever worked for my company, my legal tax payable company, of which, by the way, there are probably 3,000 studios here in Romania. It's a popular business out here. How many of those girls are part of my current ongoing criminal proceedings? The answer, you'll be shocked to know, is zero. Because the police have called everyone who ever worked for me who they could ever find and said, look, you were working at Tristan as a webcam model. And they're like, yeah. Did he ever make you do this? No. Did he pay you? Yes. All right, we'll close the book. So they've tried to tie this stupid allegation, and I think that's one of the reasons the allegation was made when Andrew said, everything is my fault. One of the reasons they chose that as an allegation is because they have videos of me at 25 saying, yeah, I run this company where I have these naked girls streaming on the internet. They've linked two and two together. And in the public eye, the Twitter detectives are like, oh, well, they've basically admitted to it. One, legal tax payable business, huge business here in Romania. Just by your Airbnb, there's a huge studio with probably 400 models streaming right now. Not a crime. Slightly immoral, I'll completely agree. Running a nightclub can be slightly immoral too. Lots of things I've tried to do can be slightly immoral. But how much connection does it have with my current ongoing legal proceedings? None. Zero. None of the girls they've listed as victims have ever worked for me. That was a completely normal, fine tax payable business.
That probably, excuse me, wouldn't be admissible in court, any of that. It has nothing to do with anything.
No, it's not about court because nothing about my company is in the court documents and nothing has ever been shown to a judge. It's all about public perception.
Public perception.
It's all about public perception. They want to drag you down, destroy you, drag your name through the mud. So when they accuse you of kidnapping somebody because one lunatic who was here for 5 days got invited to a party at my house that I wasn't at, by the way, and she made this allegation that opens the door, that she was kept here. Obviously, there are videos on the internet of her leaving to get pizza, her walking around the city by herself. Text messages of hers have been leaked saying, I am going to lie to the police. I will wear sunglasses so I look upset, so it looks like I've been crying. It's open and shut, a false allegation. Case closed. However, when one lunatic comes into your house for 1 day of the 5 she spent in this country, when I wasn't even here, and makes this kind of allegation, the internet can run away on this fantasy of, oh, well, he used to run this webcam studio. Do you think that was human trafficking? And it's a way of trying to distort my name, my reputation, and to make me out to be something that I'm not, which I'm fine with because I don't really know who these anonymous Twitter accounts are. And, you know, the fact that they may not like me isn't something that loses me sleep.
Yeah, well, listen, if you're going to be online, social media, you got to have thick skin. You can't worry about any of this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.